Good morning, fellas. Getting ready for the trail rides next weekend. I mentioned it in one of my videos. If any of you guys want to come, hit me up. It's in Lake City, Florida. But I want to talk about a couple things. The Jeep responded good to the HP tuner stuff that we've done to it with the timing. The fueling is pretty good. I mean, it's a little rich, but it's, it could be a little bit better, but it ain't really worth messing with right now until we do the turbo. I took her out, tested her a few times. She's responded good to it. The data logging that we did in the last video, I had a little issue with it. If you watch the video, you'll see the gauge go all bars across it instantly when I hit second gear. I got to do something with, see that AEM gauge goes through the OB2 port, and then the HP tuners goes on here. Well, what happened was it shook it loose a little bit, so I gotta rig some up here, zip tie it or whatever, to where it'll stay in there when we data log again. But when we get the turbo on there, basically what I was wanting to see was what the air fuel ratio was doing, and it's good, so it's decent. I would rather it be like 12.5, closer to 12.5, 12.7, something like that for naturally aspirated, but it's at 11.8, 11.7, and it was under a load, so it's pretty good. We get the turbo in there, we'll rig this up so we can do data logging without it coming disconnected, but that's what happened. Also I had a company reach out to me for, this is a Toto. Y'all be looking for a review on this. I've got to get some dash panels and a double DIN setup for the Jeep. We're going to put this in here. But this, you can run a backup camera, which has been my problem with this Jeep since I had it. As you can see, the back hatch is green because I backed into something pretty fast and crushed all that in. But this thing here will backup camera, offline GPS, online GPS. It'll mirror your phone. It's an Android, basically. It's an Android radio, and it's got the OB2, and they got to plug this in too, and this puts all your gauges and diagnostic stuff on the screen, so we can run all our gauges up here on here. So we're going to do that. I got to get the backup camera. I'm probably going to get a forward-facing camera too, which I just ordered another forward-facing camera for this trip, so we have some good video this time. But it's actually got a SD slots on the side of it, so you can record with it and stuff, and put your music on it and stuff like that. But anyway, y'all be looking for, I'm going to do a review on this for the company. They sent it to me to review. But it does all kinds of stuff. I was wanting one of these, and I just didn't want to spring for it because I've been saving for the turbo build, and they reached out to me. I'm like, what the heck, we'll see. But we got to get the stuff to hook it up. But let's talk about the turbo. I'm probably going to make this the first video in the turbo build. Now, there's a few ways I'm thinking about doing this. I'm going to do it right, so I do want y'all's input though. Y'all have probably seen BoostWorks on Google. It BoostWorks, they sell a turbo manifold for this. I think I'm gonna reach out to them and see about getting their turbo manifold and their Garrett 57 trim turbo to put on here. I'm either gonna put a 57 trim Garrett turbo on here or a G25 Garrett turbo on here, which is a ball bearing turbo. It's really expensive, but it's small. What I'm wanting to know from you guys is, would y'all like to see me do the turbo manifold from BoostWorks with a Garrett turbo that goes down underneath the manifold? It actually goes up in, well, down in there below the intake manifold, which it means we're gonna have to run, I've already scoped it out a little bit. We run mud and water, deep water, so we're going to have to make sure it's sealed up good if it's down there. And we can run the intake tube, take the air box out, and they make those bullet style air boxes. It's just a round tube. It looks like a muffler, and there's a filter in it. we could run it right here and then run it to down in here to the air intake. I was worried about this not being able to flow enough air for the turbo, but I think it'll be fine because it's a 3-inch inlet in the turbo for the suction on the compressor side, and this is about 2.5-3 inches right here. So if we had to, we could run the line straight to the turbo, you know, not cobble it up, but you know what I'm saying, make a line all the way to the turbo, and we could actually, if we had to, put a filter up here, just to put something around it where it looked good, but put like a K&N right here and just filter the air here, and then run a straight tube straight to the inlet of the turbo. And then I think that would be the best way to do it. It would look good. We wouldn't have to move, because most of them, people who put them over here like I was talking about doing, they have to do away with their air conditioner, and I don't want to do that because I'm old and I like air conditioner, especially in summertime in Florida. But we could, if y'all let me know, turbo manifold, or we make this header bend around and put the turbo right here, and then we could still run it into here and then put the turbo up higher. I think it would spool up better with the BoostWorks manifold. I know it would, because it's a short little run to the turbo, and it's for a T3 turbo, and it's got a 38mm wastegate hole in the manifold already, so we wouldn't have to worry about that. And we could run a 3-inch dump out the back of the turbo down and use the same exhaust and run it 3 inches all the way back. So I think that'd be the best way to do it. Y'all let me know. It's not real expensive. The manifold is like right at $390, something like that, which to me is worth it. And the turbo's, it's not an expensive, I mean, it's not a cheap one, but you don't want to put a turbo down underneath the manifold that's junk, because you really don't want to have to take all this out again to put it in there. That Garrett will last. And I'm going to get the Garrett turbo of some sort, either a G25 or that 57 trim Garrett, a tile blow-off valve, or not blow-off valve, but I can't talk this morning, I'm kind of busy. The wastegate valve, I'm gonna get a tile wastegate valve to put down there too, also, where we don't have to mess with it. Now the blow-off valve for the top side, for the pressure side, is, I gotta figure what we're gonna do with that, because the tile one is like an open valve with holes all the way around it, and I could see that when it opens getting mud in it. So we got to figure something out with that. I don't want to run an internal wastegate turbo, and I want to have a external wastegate, and I want to have an external blow-off valve, but we got to figure out some way to keep the filth out of it, because I can see with that tile one, it's going to get filth in it. So when we get back off this trip this weekend coming up, we're going to start getting the parts for it. I've got the money saved up. I've been saving hard for it. We're going to get I got to figure which injectors I want to get. I got to get the injectors. We're going to get the turbo, the manifold, however we're going to do that, which I'm probably going to order the manifold, and fuel pump. We're going to hook the methanol injection up. As far as a intercooler goes, I haven't made my mind up if I want to run a water to air up in here, like put the water to air intercooler back in. There's enough room down in here to probably get a small one in here, or run one up top somewhere up here and put a heat exchanger up here in front of this. But I've decided we're gonna put 8 pounds of boost on this motor, and we're gonna see what we can, if we can get it to do what it's supposed to do without knocking and all that with HB tuners. And then we're gonna take the head off, the intake manifold off of this one, and port it and see just how we can get the stock 4.0 to respond to 8 pounds of boost. And then we'll build a motor, and when we can really put some boost to it. That G25 is good to 500 horsepower, and that that 57 trim turbo, which is a journal bearing turbo, is good to about 500 horsepower. If I can get 350 out of this thing to 400, it'll be really good. But y'all take it easy. I need to get to work. I gotta finish up some wiring, clean her up, touch up some paint, but definitely, she is definitely running better. And y'all be looking for a review on this radio. It's not that expensive. Well, it's like $3.99 for it, but it does lots of stuff. And I don't know you guys, but I'm tired of the radio that's in this thing. My radio sucks. But y'all take it easy. Let me know what y'all think about the BoostWorks turbo manifold. Do y'all want to do that, or do y'all want me to just build something? It'd be a lot cleaner, and I'll still go the route that I think's best, because I don't like half-assing nothing. And y'all let me know. Y'all have a good weekend. Y'all be looking for a trail riding video. I got a new camera to mount here coming, 4K, and we should have some good videos. I'm gonna mount it back here some. I'm gonna put a mount back here on this so we can shoot from the back sometimes, and should be a fun trip. I can't wait. It's been a while. But y'all take it easy. I know this is a little bit of a rambling video, but I'm in a hurry, and I just want to make a video and update y'all on what's going on. Y'all take it easy, man. All right, bye. I'm gonna add this to the end if y'all are still around. Something else that I need to do. I'm gonna go today. I put a 190 thermostat back in here. I'm gonna go get a 160 thermostat, because right now, with all the fan stuff that we did and sealing all this stuff up, it's staying dead nuts on 190, right? We need to, if we're going to turbo, which we're going to turbo it, when we turbo this thing, the cooler we can get it to run, the better it's going to work with SparkNock. So that's been the whole deal with my Jeep since I got it, is keeping the temperature down. We've got to get that under control. So I'm going to put a 160 in here. I know that, you know, it's going to flow more water and all that kind of stuff, and I know what it's going to cause the cooling system to do, but I want to see just how cool this thing will run on the trail ride. I don't want to take it out, but put a 160 in there. If it'll stay at 180 degrees, we'll be in good shape when we put turbo on it. And also, I'm going to get with BoostWorks or whatever we decide to do, and see if I can wrap that manifold, if that'll be fine and not make it crack. But we're going to wrap that manifold, and then when we take the intake manifold off to do the job, I'm going to put that ceramic lizard skin on this to keep the heat transfer going into it, to try to keep this cool too. So if we can get the engine to stay around 180, we can put some something on this to keep it from getting hot itself, wrap the manifold. That'll help us a big time. But this next trail riding trip is going to be an experiment with the cooling system, just to see how cool I can keep it, because I want to get it to stay at 180. If it's running 210, 220, it's going to want to SparkNock more, and I'm going to take more timing out of it to get it to work right. So every trip I go out, I'm trying something. So we're going to test all this that we've done, all these shrouds and sealing it up, and another fan, and see if we can get this thing to run about 180. It would be sweet if it did, but we'll see. Also, I was going to tell y'all too, I hooked the fan back up to the stock location, because with an HP tuner, I had it unhooked forever and just coming on with the key switch. When you turn the key on, it was on with a relay. So now I've hooked it back up to the factory location, because I can go in HP tuners and I can turn this thing on at whatever temperature I want to, and I got it coming on at 160 right now. So it's staying off to 160, and it'll kick on, and that's working better too. That's something else you can do with HP tuners I didn't tell y'all about. But anyway, I'm out of here. We're also going to build another throttle body for this, where it's not just straight down in there. I want it to fan out. We'll talk all about that later. Y'all have a good weekend, man. I'm gonna work on Betty and get her ready to go slang some mud. Take it easy. Bye.